Have you ever stared into the abyss of your own suffering, only to wonder why some emerge stronger while others crumble? Pain has a way of carving deep marks into our souls, shaping us in ways we seldom recognize. Yet hidden within those scars lies a truth. Those who have suffered deeply are often the ones who rise with an indomitable strength, a mastery over their emotions, and a profound understanding of life. They become unyielding, not because they were born resilient, but because they've walked through fire and refused to burn. This journey, your journey, is what defines us. Today, we're diving into the 5 traits of those who have endured more than their share of suffering. Through the lens of ancient Stoic philosophy, we will uncover how such pain can become the foundation for extraordinary self-control, unshakable fortitude, and liberation from destructive emotions. Stay with us to the end, because this revelation isn't just knowledge, it's a call to transform your life. Number 1. The fortress of self-control. When life hurls relentless storms our way, the first lesson carved into our being is control. Not over the external chaos, but over the internal tempest. Those who have suffered deeply understand that their emotions, when left unchecked, can become their greatest adversaries. In the words of the Stoic philosopher Epictetus, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. This realization births an unshakable fortress of self-control, one that stands firm amidst the trials of life. Self-control as it emerges from suffering isn't a natural gift, it's a hard-fought battle. Those who endure learn that external circumstances are unpredictable and often cruel. Betrayal, heartbreak, disappointment, these are the shadows that fall upon every life, but they don't dictate the light within. Suffering teaches that while we cannot command the storms of life to stop, we can master how we navigate through them. This mastery is the foundation of self-control. For those who have faced unrelenting pain, self-control manifests as an unyielding calmness. It is the ability to hold oneself steady when emotions threaten to spill over. Anger, despair, jealousy, these destructive forces are understood, confronted, and tamed. A person who has suffered greatly becomes a student of their own mind, learning to observe emotions without becoming enslaved by them. It's as though they become both the sculptor and the sculpture, refining their character through the very suffering that once threatened to break them. Marcus Aurelius, one of Stoicism's greatest figures, wrote in his Meditations, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." This strength is not loud or boastful, it is silent and unwavering. It's the ability to recognize that control over the self is the only true power we possess. And those who master it radiate a sense of peace that others can feel, even if they can't explain it. But true self-control is not merely about restraint, it's about choice. It is choosing not to lash out in anger even when provoked. It is choosing to let go of grudges, even when revenge feels justified. It is choosing to rise above circumstances no matter how unjust, because clinging to resentment only deepens the pain. This discipline is cultivated daily, through small victories over fleeting impulses and destructive habits. It's in these moments that a person transforms their suffering into a source of strength. Such individuals don't just survive life's challenges, they thrive in spite of them. They walk through fire without letting it consume them, emerging not just unharmed, but tempered, stronger than before. This trait is why those who have suffered seem unshakable. Their calmness amidst chaos is not an accident, but a testament to their inner work. The world notices too. Calmness commands respect, and mastery over oneself becomes a beacon of quiet strength for others to follow. And so, the deeply scarred individual learns that suffering, far from being an enemy, is a teacher. It strips away illusions, leaving behind only what is essential. In this essential state, self-control becomes not just a defense mechanism, but a way of living, a way of being untouchable in a world that thrives on chaos. Number 2. The quiet power of endurance. Endurance is not merely the ability to bear hardship. It is the art of thriving in its presence. Those who have suffered deeply carry within them a quiet power, an unspoken strength that cannot be shaken by the ordinary trials of life. This is not because they are immune to pain, but because they have learned to coexist with it, transforming it into a fuel for their resilience. The Stoics called this state apatheia, a form of inner peace achieved by rising above destructive emotions and external disturbances. The true essence of endurance lies in perspective. Suffering reshapes how we view the world. When one has endured profound pain, trivial inconveniences no longer carry the same weight. Marcus Aurelius observed this in his Meditations. If you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it, and this you have the power to revoke at any moment. Those who endure hardship learn this truth intimately. They no longer see misfortunes as personal attacks, but as inevitable elements of existence. Endurance doesn't mean passivity or resignation. It is an active state of acceptance. Imagine a mountain weathering centuries of storms, standing tall despite the relentless battering of winds and rains. Endurance is the human equivalent of this steadfastness. It is the decision to keep moving forward, not out of blind hope, but out of a deep understanding that pain is transient and growth is eternal. To endure is to adapt. Those who have suffered greatly develop a remarkable ability to adjust to life's challenges without losing their core identity. This adaptability is born from necessity. When life takes something away, they learn to make do with what remains. Over time, they discover that their strength doesn't come from avoiding hardship, but from embracing it. They become like the blacksmith's blade, tempered and strengthened by every strike of the hammer. Endurance also brings with it a profound sense of gratitude. Those who have suffered know the value of small joys, the significance of fleeting moments of peace. They learn to appreciate the warmth of a kind word, the comfort of a quiet evening, the resilience of their own breath. This gratitude does not erase their pain, but it coexists with it, creating a richer, more textured experience of life. In enduring, they inspire. The sight of someone who has walked through fire and remained standing is a powerful testament to human resilience. Others are drawn to this quiet strength, this unyielding spirit that says, "I have faced the worst, and I am still here." Such individuals become living proof of the Stoic principle that what stands in the way becomes the way. Ultimately, endurance is a choice, one made in the darkest moments when giving up seems easier. It is the decision to bear the weight of existence, not as a burden, but as a responsibility. And in carrying this weight, those who endure show us all what it means to truly live. Number 3. The wisdom of perspective. Suffering is a profound teacher, and one of its greatest lessons is the gift of perspective. Those who have endured immense pain gain a unique ability to see the world through a lens shaped by experience and clarity. They learn to distinguish between what matters and what merely distracts. In the words of Seneca, we suffer more often in imagination than in reality. This truth becomes evident to those who have walked the difficult path, for their suffering has stripped away illusions, leaving only what is essential. Perspective, born from suffering, reveals the transient nature of most troubles. Those who have suffered deeply come to understand that life is fleeting, that time is precious, and that most of the things we agonize over are insignificant in the grand scheme. They learn not to be consumed by trivialities, an unkind word, a missed opportunity, or even an unforeseen failure. Instead, their focus shifts to what is enduring: character, virtue, and the impact they leave behind. This wisdom often manifests as a calm detachment. When others are swept away by the turbulence of daily life, those who have suffered remain grounded. They have seen the extremes of joy and sorrow, of gain and loss, and they recognize that these experiences are two sides of the same coin. Epictetus reminds us, "Remember that it is not he who reviles or strikes you who insults you, but your opinion that these things are insulting." With this understanding, those who have suffered become masters of their reactions, prioritizing inner peace over external validation. But perspective is not just about detachment. It is also about connection. Suffering opens the heart to the struggles of others, fostering empathy and compassion. Those who have endured pain become more attuned to the silent battles others face, understanding that everyone carries unseen burdens. This creates a sense of unity, a recognition that, despite our differences, we are all navigating the same unpredictable currents of life. This broader view of existence brings freedom. It liberates those who have suffered from the endless chase for perfection, possessions, or power. They come to realize that true wealth lies not in what they acquire, but in who they become. This realization shifts their priorities, making them more present, more intentional, and more appreciative of life's simple, fleeting moments. Perspective, however, is not static. It deepens with reflection. Those who have suffered take time to ponder their experiences, extracting meaning from even the darkest chapters of their lives. They ask themselves, what can I learn from this? How can this pain make me better, not bitter? This practice of reflection transforms their suffering into a wellspring of wisdom, one that guides their decisions and inspires those around them. Ultimately, the wisdom of perspective is a light in the darkness. It allows those who have suffered to navigate life with clarity and purpose, unshaken by the superficial and unafraid of the unknown. They embody the Stoic principle that life is neither good nor evil, but only a place for good and evil. And in choosing good, they remind us all of the extraordinary power of a well-framed mind. Number 4. The strength of emotional discipline. Emotional discipline is not the absence of feelings, it is the art of mastering them. Those who have suffered deeply understand that emotions are powerful forces. They can uplift or destroy, depending on how they are wielded. Through their pain, they learn to tame these forces, becoming artisans of their inner worlds. This mastery is at the heart of Stoicism, as Marcus Aurelius advises. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. To suffer is to feel, to experience the raw depths of anger, despair, grief, and even fear. Yet those who endure come to see these emotions not as enemies, but as signals. Anger points to boundaries violated. Grief speaks of love lost. Fear highlights uncertainty. Each emotion, when observed rather than obeyed, becomes a teacher. The ability to pause and reflect instead of reacting impulsively is the hallmark of emotional discipline, a skill sharpened through suffering. This discipline does not mean suppression. Suppression is a dam waiting to burst, while discipline is a river redirected to flow with purpose. Those who have suffered learn to sit with their emotions, understanding them without being consumed by them. They ask themselves, why do I feel this way? What is within my control? What can I learn from this? These questions guide them toward clarity, transforming emotional chaos into actionable insight. One of the most profound lessons suffering teaches is the impermanence of emotions. What feels overwhelming today may fade into insignificance tomorrow. This awareness enables those who have suffered to detach from the intensity of the moment, grounding themselves in the larger context of their lives. Epictetus reminds us, men are disturbed not by things, but by the view they take of them. Emotional discipline, then, is the art of changing that view. This strength is not cultivated overnight. It is built through countless moments of choosing discipline over indulgence. It is choosing to forgive instead of holding a grudge, to remain calm when provoked, and to let go of bitterness when life feels unjust. These choices may seem small, but they accumulate into a character of immense fortitude. Over time, emotional discipline becomes a defining trait, a source of inner peace that cannot be shaken by external turmoil. Through their journey, those who have suffered deeply often become examples for others. Their calm presence, even in the face of adversity, inspires admiration and respect. People are drawn to them, not because they are free of pain, but because they have learned to live above it. This silent strength speaks volumes, offering hope to those who are still struggling to master their own emotions. In the end, emotional discipline is not about avoiding pain, but transforming it. It is about choosing growth over stagnation, clarity over confusion, and peace over chaos. Those who have suffered teach us that we cannot control the waves of life, but we can learn to navigate them with grace. In doing so, they embody the Stoic ideal of living in harmony with nature, accepting what is while striving for what could be. Number 5. The art of letting go. Suffering teaches us a truth many resist. Nothing in life is permanent. Those who have endured profound pain come to understand that clinging to what was or could have been only deepens the wound. Letting go, however, is not an act of weakness. It is the ultimate demonstration of strength. As Seneca wrote, "It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more, that is poor." Letting go is not losing, it is gaining freedom. When life inflicts its harshest lessons, we often fight against reality, grasping at people, possessions, or ideals that no longer serve us. This resistance becomes a source of suffering itself. Those who have suffered greatly learn over time to surrender not to despair, but to acceptance. They realize that what cannot be changed must be embraced, not fought. This acceptance is not passive. It is an active choice to release what weighs them down. Letting go begins with understanding the impermanence of all things. The Stoics frequently reflected on the transitory nature of life, urging themselves to detach from the fleeting. Marcus Aurelius, in his Meditations, wrote, "Consider that before long you will be nobody and nowhere, nor will anything which you now behold exist, nor one of those who are now alive. Nature's law is that all things return from where they came." This realization, far from being grim, is liberating. It allows one to cherish the present without being enslaved by it. For those who have suffered, letting go also involves forgiving, not just others, but themselves. Pain often brings guilt and regret, the cruel voices that replay moments of perceived failure or inadequacy. But as they confront their pain, they learn that self-forgiveness is not an indulgence, but a necessity. It is through this act of grace that they free themselves from the chains of the past, stepping into a lighter, more purposeful existence. Letting go does not mean forgetting or becoming indifferent. It means releasing the grip of the past on the present. It means learning to move forward without dragging old burdens behind. This process is neither easy nor swift. It is a daily practice, a decision to prioritize growth over stagnation. With each small release, those who have suffered reclaim their power, their focus, and their joy. This art of letting go often confuses those who have not walked through fire. They may mistake it for indifference or apathy, not realizing it is the culmination of profound inner work. It is the ability to stand firm while the world shifts, to accept change not as a threat, but as a constant companion. This strength makes those who have suffered deeply magnetic. They radiate a peace that others crave, a calm that says, "I do not hold on to what I cannot keep." In letting go, they inspire. They remind us that clinging to the unchangeable is the source of much of our suffering, while releasing it is the path to freedom. Their lives become a testament to the truth that suffering, when met with courage and wisdom, can lead to the deepest kind of liberation. Suffering, though relentless and unforgiving, is also a sculptor of the soul. Those who have endured its sharpest edges emerge not unscarred, but transformed. They carry with them traits that others instinctively admire and aspire to: fortitude, wisdom, discipline, endurance, and the rare ability to let go. These individuals embody the Stoic belief that adversity, when faced with courage and self-reflection, is not a curse but an opportunity. The lessons we learn from suffering are universal, yet deeply personal. They remind us of the fragility of life and the strength we can find within ourselves. As Epictetus so powerfully stated, difficulties show what men are. In hardship, we are confronted with the truth of who we are and given the chance to become more. By cultivating the traits of endurance, perspective, emotional discipline, and the art of letting go, we do more than survive suffering, we transcend it. We discover that within the darkest moments lies the potential for light, that through pain we can find purpose. And as we navigate the trials of life, these traits not only guide us, but inspire others, creating ripples of resilience and hope. To the viewer watching this, reflect on your own journey. What hardships have shaped you? How have they molded your character, your choices, your perspective? Remember, suffering is not the end. It is a beginning, a forge where your truest self is created. What are your views on this? Share your thoughts in the comments below. I will personally read all of your comments. And if you seriously want to level up in life, don't forget to show some love by hitting the like and subscribe button. Stay strong. Until next time.